Okay, so here is the silhouette demo. One of the most important things to remember in the silhouette is to stay in top view. So with the 3D cubes, you're already somewhat familiar with this. The difference is that we're going to be using the arc tool. There are several arc tools. The number one that we're going to use is the point arc. It's the easiest one. It makes the most sense on how to go about using it. There are some much more complicated ones for very specific type of arcs. However, your brain works differently than my brain. So tinker with them. Maybe they work better for you. So this is the pie. This is the 3-point arc. This is the 2-point, and then this is the arc, the traditional arc one. This one never pans out for me for whatever reason, so I tend to use the 2-point arc. So with that said, remember also with the cubes that we had levels 1, 2, and 3. So we had easy, remember that's a relative term, easy, intermediate, and hard. So if I look at the silhouettes for flames, you can see that the majority of these are just tedious. Okay, they're tedious. They might get a little bit more complex in here. So most of these are 2s. Where you might get a 3 is, you see how this arc goes one direction. Let me zoom in. So you see how it's like an S. Okay, that's a little bit more complex to get those, because it might take you 2 different types of arc to make sure that they connect. So that's where the complexity comes into play. Like this one right here is relatively easy. There's an arc from here to here, then another arc, and then another arc, and then another arc. Do you see what I mean? Once you get flowing with it, it's pretty straightforward. Now, moving on to the cats. Do yourself a favor and ignore the whiskers. Okay, those aren't going to print for how big these are going to print. I think the biggest challenge here with the cat is the tail. So most of these are going to end up being 3s or 2.5s, depending. If you do more than one cat, I will definitely give you 3s for those. But if you're only doing one cat, remember though, just because I'm letting you get away with ignoring the whiskers does not mean you can ignore the little claws. Okay. So what does that mean? You should try to also get the jowls of the cat. So if I was to pick, say, this particular cat right here, one of the key elements to that cat is the claws. So if I come in here, I'm going to get my line tool. I'm going to click here, here. Oh, what's going on here? I need to change. I need to get my X-ray turned on. Okay, so let's see. There we go. Now I'm going to kind of go, I think I'll do, one of the other issues that, look at what's happening. It wants to snap on me. So I'm going to come down here to the information. I'm going to turn off snapping, and I'm going to give myself a lot more detail. Okay. So that means when I come in here, I have a little bit more control. See that? I have just a little, and I'm going to bring it about there. I'm going to get my arc tool, A. Okay, get my line tool. Do you see how, oops, I didn't finish that arc. Click, 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 line. Make sure I'm on that green endpoint. I'm going to come over here, and I'll eventually go up this way. So I'll go up this way just a little way so you can see. I'm just going to cut off the foot just for demonstration purposes in this particular situation here. So this is a little tricky. I need to get in a little bit more so I can get in there. Now that's another arc right here. Click. And I need to be careful. Okay. One of the other things that you need to worry about is to make sure you stay coplanar. Coplanar means that all the lines are flat. Now I have an artifact. Do you see that artifact? I need to erase that artifact. And I have another artifact. Look at that. I need to erase that artifact. And you see how it did a really good job on fixing itself there. Nice and smooth. Okay, coplanar. Let me talk to you about what coplanar is. Let's see if I can. It gets locked into. That means, see how it's all on one level. Okay? If it's not coplanar, it's not going to work out for you. It's not going to make a face, and you're going to be confused as to why you not have a face. The first thing I would check to make sure is that you are coplanar. All the lines and all the arcs are on the exact same plane of existence. Now, so how am I going to draw these claws? Well, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to get in here, and I'm kind of just looking at there, and then probably like this. I know it's not the best. Well, you know what? Let's go in here and let's detail this out. I'm going to go here, there. Oh, it's too small. Do you see that? The number of segments are too large for the given angle and radius. So it's being a little bit fussy. I'm going to have to zoom in here a lot, and I'm going to have to probably go a lot longer here. There. So what I did is I cheated. I made my arc a lot longer, but I only need part of it. I only need that part. Do you see how that works? Now I can come in here and do a little bit more detail. Do you see why this is a 3? So I'm going to come in here and I'm softening up. I'm trying to soften up this little corner, but I can't because I need to watch out. I still need to go bigger. So I'm going to go here again. And I'm going to probably, can I get it? No, I have to go all the way over to this one to get the results I want. Too small still. Let's try this one. There we go. Now I have a lot of artifacts here that I need to get rid of. So I'm going to zoom in. See, the segments have to be at least a millimeter. So we're really zooming in here. So that one whole segment right there is 1 millimeter, just about. Okay. It's a little rough on that corner, but again, if we zoom out, it's going to look pretty smooth. I'm going to do it to the other side. And now that I've done some battling with this, I wonder if I can do a better job on this side. So what I'm going to do here is get my arc started. And I'm going to come all the way down here. And oh, do you see how that went up? See how it kind of went towards me? That right there. That is not coplanar. Oh, yes, it was. That's a good boo-boo. Okay, so let's try this again. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a nice soft, look at what I'm going for. There we go. Okay. And then I erase that one. And I kind of want to soften this area here a little bit. Well, I still need to get rid of that line. I need to get rid of that line. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay. So get my arc. I could probably, too short. I could have probably done something like this. No, that wouldn't have worked. So here's where it comes into play, is that you got to tinker with it a little bit to see. Okay, so there, and then I want to soften. Too short. All right, I'm looking for a green point. It's not going to give me a decent green point. So I'm going to make sure I'm on the edge. I'm going to come way out here. And then I'm going to come here. There we go. Now I have lots of artifacts here I need to get rid of. erase, 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 and then erase on the outside, erase that artifact. Ooh, look at these artifacts in here. Erase, 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 erase. And that's a little rough there, but if I zoom out, I can do some work with that. So do you see what I'm doing here? I'm really tinkering with it to make sure I get the right result I'm looking for. I'm bringing it out even for, see, let's try there and there. Ah, that's a nice gentle curve. Erase, E, O, undo, eraser, eraser. I need to zoom in. Eraser, eraser, and then some more, and then a little one, and then there, and then there, pan, and there, and it fixed itself there. That's fantastic. Okay, so that's what you got to do with the cat thing. So I'm wondering if maybe my doing it squared up was a lot of extra work that I didn't need to do. So let's try that. And then if I go back to this one and come down to here and do, that might have been a little bit better. Do you see what I'm doing now? So after battling with one, I have a better sense of what I need to do. I'm looking for, oh, it's a line. So I'm not going to find a green point. So I need to be careful to make sure I'm on the edge. And then I'm going to use a line here to see if I can, there we go. And I have an artifact there. It's not, I'm not getting the same result. I don't like this result as much as I like this result if I was to tinker with it some more. What I'm looking for is this kind of look on both sides. And I'm not sure. I'd really have to do some tinkering with it to make sure I got what I was looking for. I guess what I could do here, let's do this. I wonder, let's go with an arc tool. Here, there, and then go from some real. The problem with that is that that's going to be literally impossible to print. Too small. So hit OK. I'm going to come back into here, go down to here. Oh, see that one. See how it says it's on blue axis? That is not coplanar. So I'm going to set that so that you can see. And then look. See how it's not coplanar? It's sticking right up. Okay. I'm going to hit, go back into top view, and I'm going to get my eraser, and I'm going to erase that whole thing. So the claws are a little bit tricky on how you go about doing it. Hold on, I got to talk to somebody. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is turning out to be a little bit on the long side. So let me jump in and show you what else I wanted to talk about that was really important. So I'm going to pick a simple, easy pumpkin. So let's pick this one. This is a very easy pumpkin. I'm going to quickly do the outline here. So I'm going to go here to here, punch it up. I'm going to go here to here, punch that, and then here, and I'm seeing what I can pull off. So it's a little rough over here. I went a little too far. Do you see how that? But I can go in and fix it like I did with the cat feet. I don't want to take too much more time of, and then there, and then here, here, here. Yes, I have to talk to myself as I do things. There. Let's see if I can cheat. It's okay. This for instructional purposes. So I don't think I got a face. Did I get a face? I did not get a face. Do you see that? Because I have holes. Look at right there. That's because I was being impatient. So undo, undo. Let's go back to my, I'm going to wait for that green. Come back over here. Click. Wait for the green. Come back over here. Zoom out. Here. And then here. Now I got a face. Do you see that? Okay. Now, let me show what I was talking about a little bit earlier. I'm going to get my line tool. Now, notice I haven't extruded. That's a flat, whoops, what? That orbit tool is like, it's in its own little world. It's got to be a major glitch. There we go. All right, so this is still flat. I have not extruded it. Let me show you. So you see, there it is extruded. Do you see that? Okay, so I'm going to undo that. I'm going to get back into top view. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, get my line tool, and get my arc tool. Make sure I have my, okay. So now I have an eyeball with a flat face for my pumpkin. If I get my push-pull tool, and I'm just trying to get into a good position so that you can see this. Notice how I have two faces now. I have the full pumpkin face, and then I have the eyeball face. So when I pull up the eyeball face, it has its outer walls. When I pull up the pumpkin face, it also has its outer walls. Do you see those little lines in there? All those little lines. And you can come in though. All those little lines, those right there need to be printed. We don't want to do that if we want to print something. We want to make sure that we do it so that it's very quick to print and very efficient to print. So what does that mean? Well, that means that I need to push-pull the object out first. Okay, make sure I get into top view. Now draw what I want to extrude or punch out of my object. There. So notice now it's just on the top. So if I go push-pull, I can push-pull that up, and now I don't have any internal walls whatsoever. If I want to make a hole, all I would need to do is just push it down through. Now I can push it all the way through. There we go. I can push it all the way through. Do you see that? Okay. If I am more careful and come in here, let's see if I can pull this off. Come with the top. I want, what I'm looking for is I'm trying to get it so it's on there. Do you see what I just did? I made sure that I was level, and now I can see through it. I don't understand why Orbit gets stuck, but Orbit gets stuck. Okay? Hopefully that helps a little bit for you to do the silhouettes.